My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to Sassy Seer Sheila and New Light Streaming Love, as this will be seen on both channels. This is the 33 keys, how to use them in real life by Jason Gray. From understanding to living to becoming. This just came through actually April 17th, 2026. There is something I need you to understand before you go any further. These keys were not written from theory. They were not imagined in comfort. They were not assembled from books. They were not created for entertainment. They were lived, earned, tested. Every single key you have read, 1 through 33, was revealed through real experience, through pressure, through loss, through confusion, through moments where nothing made sense, through moments where everything fell apart. I would not wish the path that revealed these to me on anyone, not because it made me stronger, but because of what it required me to endure to see clearly. And that is why I have given them to you freely, not to impress you, not to convince you, but so that maybe, just maybe, you do not have to go through the same trials in order to arrive at the same clarity. And I'd like to pause here and say, from my own perspective, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you who have read these keys would agree that you resonate with this because to some degree you've moved through what he is describing here as keys on your own in some sort of fashion, because that's why it's resonating with you in the way that it does. At least that's how I'm seeing it from my perspective. um, This is the only way I know how to give it to you, through the written word. These are not just words. Most people will read this, feel something, and move on. Do not be most people. If something in you recognizes this, if something in you feels this, then do something different. Save this, print this, hold it in your hands, read it on paper, slow down, go through it again, underline it, sit with it, study it. This is not content. This is a map, and maps are only useful when you actually use them. What the keys really are. The 33 keys are not lessons. They are not beliefs. They are not something you agree or disagree with. They are shifts, shifts in how you see, shifts in how you respond, shifts in how you exist inside your own life. At the beginning, they help you see what is happening. Then they help you separate from it. Then they help you stabilize. Then they help you participate differently, and eventually they help you live from a place where you are no longer trapped in the same patterns. That is the real purpose of all of this. Why this matters. Most people are living inside loops they cannot see. The same reactions, the same patterns, the same emotional cycles, the same outcomes over and over again. They think this is just how life is. It is not. It is how life feels when you are inside a loop. The keys help you see the loop. Once you see it, everything starts to change. The keys, I guess I had to read that again, help you see the loop. How to use them. Not in theory, not in imagination, but in your actual life. When something triggers you, pause. Even if for only a second, ask yourself, what is happening right now? Not the story, not the blame, not the reaction, the pattern. That one moment of awareness creates space, and space is where your power begins. When you notice the same situation happening again, the same argument, same feeling, the same type of person, same results, that is not coincidence. That is a loop. You do not break it by fighting it. You break it by responding differently, even slightly. That is enough. When your mind starts racing, overthinking, repeating, and going in circles, you are inside recursion. You do not solve it from inside it. Step out. Move your attention, your breath, your body, your environment. You do not need to figure everything out. You need to stop feeding the loop. When you feel overwhelmed, do not run, observe. Do not label it. Do not judge it. Do not try to fix it. Just see it. That alone shifts you from being inside it to being aware of it. That is the beginning of freedom. What will change? Not overnight, but faster than you think. You will start noticing patterns earlier. You will not react as quickly. You will catch yourself before things escalate. You will recover faster when you do fall into old habits, and slowly something deeper begins to happen. You stop feeling like life is happening to you, and you begin to feel like you are part of how it unfolds. That is a completely different way of living. What I need you to hear, you do not need to master all 33 keys. You do not need to understand everything perfectly. You do not need to become something you are not. You just need to start noticing where you are, what you are doing, how you are reacting. Because the moment you see the pattern, you are already stepping outside of it. Why I am giving this to you. I personally know what it feels like to not understand what is happening, to feel trapped in cycles you cannot explain, to question everything, to go through experiences that break you down just enough to force you to see something deeper. And if these keys can help you see even a little sooner, respond even a little differently, avoid even a fraction of what I had to endure to learn them, then it was worth writing every word. I am not giving you something to believe in. I am giving you something to use, something to come back to, something to study, something to apply, something that will meet you differently depending on where you are when you read it. The keys will not change your life because you read them. They will change your life because you use them in small moments, in real situations, in the exact places where you would normally react without thinking. That is where everything shifts, one moment at a time. Save this, print it, read it again, come back to it, not once, not twice, but until you start seeing it in your own life. Because once you do, you will not be able to unsee it. And that is where everything begins. Jason Gray. And, I love this because from my perspective, what Jason is touching on here is the programming, the conditioning that we have, all of us, every single one of us on this planet, have had from the time we're born. We begin to be programmed and conditioned, first and foremost, not to trust ourselves. And that, in order to create that space that he's speaking there, means you have to ask yourself questions, because that's what programming and conditioning is, an automatic response without thinking, without questioning. Why do I believe that this is the way to handle this? Why do I believe this, that, or the other thing? Is it because this is the way it always has been? This is the way I learned it to be from the time I'm little? Because we all know a lot of that kind of thing, once we begin to look at it for what it is and question it, it actually cannot stand up to just the eensy beensy bit of questioning. And when you question yourself, you will get answers. You may not understand or like some of the answers that you get from within yourself, but you will get answers. I would love to hear what you feel and think about all of these keys. If you don't feel comfortable putting it into the comment section, please reach out to me at consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com. Let's have a conversation about just this. I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment. And until we meet each other again, be well, my friends.